everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the new released Ghostbuster villain figures with light-up features from Mattel. Now these figures come packaged in the same style packaging we're seeing with all the new Ghostbuster product hitting shelves. You've got the card back with that green neon slime that's coming over the top, and you've got the Ghostbuster logo. The figures are clearly displayed. Now there's 3 figures in this light up series. You've got Mayhem, which I believe is a villain from the new movie. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which obviously is a classic villain from the original movie. May also be in the new movie, I don't know. I doubt it, but who knows. And then Rowan the Destroyer, which is also from the new movie. Then on the back shows us the 3 figures, and then it also shows us these little vinyl minifigures that Mattel's releasing. The ones shown on the back are of the new female Ghostbusters. I think they're also doing some of the classic Ghostbusters in this little miniature line. I have not actually seen any of these figures on shelves yet, but they show them on the packaging, and that's what these light up figures are supposed to go with. And there's also an Ecto 1 that has like a light up Slimer in the driver's seat, and you can put these little figures in the back. I didn't pick that one up, but again, that's part of this kind of micro vinyl line that Mattel is doing. Okay, so let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. Here's a look at the figures outside the packaging. Now also be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because I have one more surprise of a cool toy that I want to show you. But first of all, let's look at these figures individually. We'll start off looking at Rowan, and this is what kind of attracted me to this line. So I did the review of the new 6-inch Ghostbuster figures from Mattel last week, which come with that collect and connect Rowan figure. And I was noticing on this one that it actually looks like it has more articulation. They're pretty much the same height, but this light up one has actually more articulation than this collect and connect one. So I thought, you know, if you're collecting the new Ghostbuster figures, you might want to pick this one up over the collect and connect one. So the figure basic paint application is just white plastic. You've got the red bow tie, you've got the black eyes, and you've got the smile with the teeth sculpted. It pretty much looks almost identical as far as paint applications go between the collect and connect one and this light up one. Now the head is a little more translucent because of the light up feature than on the collect and connect one, and you've got some stuff inside for the lights and everything, but otherwise, you know, these look pretty much the same. But again, what kind of attracted me to this, and you know, as something you might want to get to go with your 6-inch Ghostbuster figures if you decide to pick those up, is the fact that this figure actually has better articulation than that collect and connect one. So you can turn the head, and you can only turn the head a little bit. It's limited somewhat, so that's about as much as you can get the head turned, and obviously there's no up or down movement with the head, but you actually have ball hinge joints at the shoulder, so you can get the arms out on this one, and it's got good rotation there. He's got a single hinged elbow, but he can bend it actually pretty good there, and he's also got rotation there at the elbow. He's got swivels at the wrist, no hinges on the hands, but he does have swivels. No midsection articulation on this, but the legs you can actually do forward and you can do backwards, whereas on the collect and connect one you can't really move the legs at all. There's no knee articulation, and then the feet, just like with the collect and connect one, you can rotate back and forth, and there's no peg holes on the bottom of this. So the gimmick is the light up. You just push in his bow tie, and let me shut some of these lights off a little bit. You push the bow tie and he lights up orange inside his stomach. So I don't know if that's something he does in the movie or if this is just purely a feature for the toy. But it's kind of cool nevertheless. And the head even lights up a little bit because it's basically got a little bit of semi-translucent plastic in the head. Let me see if I can get better lighting to see the head. Ooh, okay. So the head doesn't show up a whole lot, but still you can, and it's not showing up too much on the camera, but you can see a little bit of a glow in the head in person. While I have the lights down, I'll show you the other two as well. So here's Stay Puft, and you can definitely see the light in Stay Puft's head much better than with Rowan, and then his whole belly lights up as well. Same color as Rowan, that kind of reddish orange color. And then finally Mayhem. Mayhem has got a different color. He lights up green and basically just in the chest area. Mayhem here is basically done with all translucent plastic, a very dark brownish type of translucent plastic. He's got a tail that again is translucent, and he's got wings that have semi-translucent kind of a reddish pink plastic. The wings actually have articulation. You can do the wings back and forth. So that's pretty cool. The wings have some nice sculpting, some line work there in the translucent plastic and some holes that have been cut into it. So I assume this is one of the main bad guys in the movie. He's got this purple tongue that sticks out. Pretty nice detailing on the figure. I assume he's probably larger in the movie. Again, these figures aren't really in scale with the 6-inch figures, I'm guessing, as I suppose these are supposed to be larger characters in the actual movie, or at least some point they get larger. But still, I think if you just wanted something to, you know, for your Ghostbuster figures to fight, I think these figures will work pretty good. So articulation, well, as I mentioned, he lights up green. So on him, he's got a button on the basically his stomach you push in, and his chest lights up green. And articulation, as I mentioned, he's got the wings. He can turn the head to the left and the right. Again, no up or down movement with the head. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint, so he can get his arm out good. He's got rotation there, pretty good rotation. Just be careful when you're doing it back, you don't hit the wings. He's got a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. Rotation there at the elbow, and then he has rotation at the hands. No hinges on the hands. He's got those really long, bony fingers, which look pretty good. No midsection articulation. You can do the leg forward, you can do the leg back. There's no articulation on this one, and no ankle articulation. And this one's probably the hardest one to get standing. He has a tendency to fall over. It would be nice if you could kind of turn the ankles out a bit to keep him standing better. So just be wary of that. And then finally, our classic friend, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And he looks pretty true to as he did in the movie. Again, scale is not obviously there, but still kind of cool to have a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man figure. Again, I'm assuming he's not in the new movie, but I don't know that for sure. So with this one, you can turn the head a little bit to the left and the right, not a whole lot. Arms are attached with standard hinge joints, so you can get the arm out and you can do rotation there. I won't say good, but you can still get it out pretty good. He doesn't have any kind of elbow joints. He does have rotation at the wrist, no midsection joints. You can get the leg forward about that much, and can't really do the legs back unless you actually turn them all the way around, but otherwise you can't do the legs back. You can also, if you want to turn the legs to the side, he can do the splits like that. So again, not super articulation, but pretty good. Paint applications, just white plastic, semi-translucent on the stomach and the head. You've got the little Stay Puft painted on his hat, which looks pretty good. A little bit of scratching on the Stay Puft, but not too bad. He's got this sailor part that's hard plastic, and it's done with blue and white. So again, pretty basic. Got a little bit of blue scratching here on the back. Now with all these, they take little watch batteries, which are included with the figures and already in the figures when you take it out of the packaging. But if you want to change the batteries, you just unscrew it here and you replace them inside here. And they're on the back of all same place on all three figures. So, but again, they do take those watch type batteries. So Stay Puft is the tallest of the three, and he stands at a roughly about 6 3/4 inches tall, and then the other two are about the same height, and they're close to about 6.5 inches tall. Okay, and finally, as promised, a little surprise here. Now this, I think, is maybe one of the coolest Ghostbuster toys Mattel has released to date, and it's a Slimer toy, and it is very fun to play with. So it's not really meant to go with your action figures. It's called a Slimer Gelia toy, and there's other ghosts that they've done for the line. I found this at Toys R Us, and first let me just take off the tag. It's basically just got legalese in it, nothing really major in the name of the toy, obviously. But what it is this is made with a squishy kind of rubber material, and he's got this kind of weird gel inside. It's not really, I don't know if gel is the right word, but it's definitely a weird material. And so you can kind of see, so when you just have him standing here, you don't see any eyeballs, right? So it looks kind of weird, but then you squeeze it and you can start to see the eyeballs. And then if you really squeeze it, the eyeballs pop out, and they're inside some kind of liquid there, so they kind of float around. So it really looks kind of creepy and stuff. And it's just kind of fun to just sit there and squeeze this thing. I mean, you know, like I said, it's not meant to go with action figures, but if you just want something to kind of play with during the day when you're at your desk, this might be a good toy to pick up. And you can get it to squeeze out of either eye. And he's got the mouth that's open with the red and the teeth are sculpted. So definitely looks like Slimer, and he's got these little arms and his hands which are attached to his body or around his stomach. Now, I don't know if this is meant to be a feature of the toy, but I discovered this in the store when I just started squeezing it. You can actually get the eyes to pop out of his butt. So you can see, you know, when you squeeze his butt, you can see the eyes in there. So again, I don't really know if that's meant to be an actual feature, but I thought it was kind of funny. So like I said, just kind of a fun little toy that Mattel's done, and you really just, you know, when you hold it in your hands, you just start sitting there squeezing it over and over. Okay, so that's my review. So I think these are fun, inexpensive little figures that Mattel has done. They'll kind of work with your 6-inch figures. Obviously, they're not really in scale with those, but you know, when you compare it with the Collect and Connect Rowan figure to this light-up one, I think the light-up one is definitely better. Also, if you're going to collect the little mini vinyl figures, these are much more in scale with those. The Slimer, I think, is just a fun toy to have. Take it to work, use it as a stress relief ball, gross out your coworkers or what have you. Again, I just think it's a fun little toy that Mattel has done. So all of these are out on shelves now. I've seen the 3 light-up figures at Target, Walmart, and Toys R Us. I found all 4 of these at Toys R Us. I don't know if Slimer is available at Target and Walmart. Not 100% sure, but you can definitely find it at Toys R Us. We'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.